Well, that should hopefully be...
Oh, it's just cut it and put it in.
Do we have any brass?
Oh, is that brass?
I reckon it's one of those brass, what do you call it? You know the brass, what do you call it? The thingy-bobs?
Yeah, right next to the flux capacitor.
Yeah.
G'day everyone and welcome back to Tom's Brook Farm. Today I am going to attack all the greenery that's around the shed. I've got my my hand sprayer here. This is, I've just got water in after I fixed it. So it's working as it should now, which is nice. And then once I've done around here, I'll go down and finish off around my house. Henry is finished off with the fence iron spraying, so that's all sorted. He's going to pull out his Agrifac now. He needs to do engine oil, hub oil, and then we're also going to fix the nozzle that I broke when I was spraying on it. So that's the plan for today. Henry's back after taking it for a drive to warm up all the oils, just to make it a lot easier for him to do the service. If you just do it when they're cold, it takes a long time for all the oil to drain out. So it's just much easier to just go for a bit of a drive and warm it up. And he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to give him the camera, because I think you guys prefer to watch a service on that rather than watch me go and spray all the weeds. So yeah, I'll leave you in Henry's capable hands.
About 10 litres in, only another 12 to go.
So the engine oil's all done, and I've finished spraying around here, so I'm about to head down to my house. But first we'll do a smoke it before that. But Henry's just going to fill up the hub oil here. Now, what is it? 2.5 litres?
The book says 2.8, so...
2.8. We think we've got enough.
Hopefully. See, we might be leaving one hub for when we get more oil, but hopefully not.
Well, good thing we haven't parked it in front of anything.
I'll see how much we've got up to 3.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's enough. I won't train the fourth one.
Yep. Right, I'm back from my house and happy to report we've got gutters. There's gutters on down there, which is nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bloody good.
So Henry's on the last wheel. He's had to do the forward and back, forward and back, forward and back by himself to line it up. So when he's finished, we've got up there, that rubber. It should look like that one there. Right, there. We got that to replace. After that, we then got that nozzle that I had a lot of fun with when I was doing the flexi end. We're gonna fix that up so it's working properly. And then you might be able to see how this is the fence line boom. You might be able to see it's got a few little bends in it because that hits fences and trees and
shoddy operators. Things.
so it's not affecting anything. It just sometimes it can get the spray. So we're just gonna probably heat them up and just bend them out of the way just so that they're not affecting spray at all. But that is aluminium, so if we break it, we can't weld it. So hopefully we don't break it.
Yeah.
Problem when you're 48 metres wide is you can't just slot into here like we used to with the 36 metre booms. So makes it quite interesting. So we are putting that there. So obviously got to undo that nut there and it'll look something like that. Gonna keep moving. Vice grips.
Probably, yeah.
That's better. As easy as that.
Simple.
I don't think our next one's going to be simple. No. I think we're going to have a few issues with that one. So for those who don't remember the video where I spent 2 hours getting a simple nozzle change, this is obviously what I ended up doing. That pin is meant to look like this one, goes through on both sides, but I've got one on this side and then I've got one on that side. So the plan is to take that all off. Henry has got some new nozzle bodies and we'll see if that just easily slides on, hoping it does. If not, not sure how well it's going to show up. This did get a bit bent, so we might just need to sort of bend that whichever way we need to. And also the pipe, once this got released, the pipe had moved, like it's obviously under pressure being pushed down. So I had to force it back down so I could get the nozzle in the correct spot. So we'll just see how we go. For anyone wondering, this is just water that's in here because when Henry finished spraying the flexi end, he did a big water flush. So it's just going to all drain water out. So it's nothing dangerous. Right, do we want to just see if that will go on?
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
It's not far off, but no, this is the issue that I had. I couldn't get it a little bit more.
Like it's started.
Yeah.
I think.
haven't got a grip. Yep.
There we go.
Yep,
We're
that
through.
went through.
Beautiful.
The difference having 4 hands, Nick,
There's the difference of about
and
2
time.
hours.
There we go. That took us less than 5 minutes. But you can see how hard it was done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even,
Excuses, I know, but
even when I'm replacing with brand new ones, it's pretty difficult.
now I'm assuming you're going to go into a fungicide next. Oh yeah, I broke your nozzle. That's the
That's right.
that's the
The
ESTA compliant one. Shall we switch all your nozzles to
might as well.
the other
And
setting?
I'll grease the boom as well.
And we're not out of the woods yet. We've got to do that other side there, but what do you use, blues or browns?
Blues.
No, browns,
Sorry,
isn't it? 05s?
Yeah,
06s?
browns. Sorry, I was meaning the blue
Oh,
cover.
no, they are 05s.
They used to be 06s.
Yep. Right, so up here, this is what we're doing. If I put you along there, you can see in here we've got a dip and over there. So it's not, look, it's not really affecting the spray. It just does brush up a little bit on the side there and gets a bit of a dribble. We're here, we've got the time, so I just want to bend it back out. It happens, this is what the flick booms are for. You know, being 48 metres wide, you're going to hit something, and this is why they're on a on a ram, on a flicking thing. So there's a few times when I drive around, I'm like, I thought I was on your run, turned out I was on the spreader's run. Did I pucker up in that cab? You see that hit something, and because you are going slow, but if you're turning, this is going obviously nearly twice the speed, so it gets scary.
And that was turning, had in a rock pile, so this was obviously going quite fast.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now that this is going to break when we pop this out.
It's already cracked.
There's a crack, but if we just get something and pop rivet, you know, strengthen it back up. But they've done their job. They've protected the nozzles. That's what they're there for. And now this is what we're here for. Fix it. At least we got Agrifac red in the shed.
Yeah.
You're gonna put your steel up there. I'll heat that one now. I don't know if you want to give it a hit. Oh, sorry. They're all good. You are moving it. You did move it.
Yeah.
You're moving it. Yep. Perfect. Keep going. Ideal. Look at that.
Has split that a wee bit. Not too bad.
So I'm not yelling at you. We've obviously bent this one back, and then we got this one back, and then the one up there. Now you can see that we've got a split here, but that, well, can you? There you go. but that happened when it had its impact, and obviously getting it back out, it's going to split. But we've got some Agrifac red paint in the shed, so when this cools down a bit, we'll get the wire brush it and give it a paint, and then I don't know what we do there. We might put something over that just to give it a bit more strength, or even a hose clamp might even do it. So yeah, there you go. One Agrifac done, just a bit of greasing now.
Yep.
Right, so it's good to get the service of the Agrifac out of the way. We're going to go for a look later on today in the wheat, just to check if we've got any powdery mildew. Don't think it's got this far north yet, so we should be okay. We are getting warmer days though, so it's perfect growing conditions for it. So yeah, while Henry's just finishing off doing the stuff on his boom, I'm going to grab the Freightliner and I'm going to take it for a wash because I had all the flexi in when I was washing it off. But I did obviously rinse it with the fresh water. Just want to give it a nice wash. Oh, I've got some lovely bees here to deal with. We got a lot of bees hanging around the shed down here. Let's hope I don't get stung. But there's also an air leak on this truck, so I want to just figure out what's going on with that and get that sorted. One of the tanks is just, well, look at this. You can see one tank is still pumped right up, and the other tank, there you go, you can see it now. The other tank is dropped. So what's happening is that's dropping within about 10 minutes of having the truck off. So I just want to investigate it and fix it. Truck's all nice and clean and ready for after lunch to have a look at that air issue. And Henry's just in here now playing with all his solenoids.
So this is where the magic happens on the boom.
These things go in and out a lot.
So basically those go in there. It's a magnet in there, I presume. And that's what turns the nozzle on and off.
And the reason he's cleaning it is sometimes they get a bit of gunk stuck in around all the seals and stuff. So it costs, what was it?
$600 for one solenoid.
$600 for one solenoid. Beware when buying an overseas boom spray, things cost more. So yeah, Henry's, this isn't the first time you've done it.
No.
When we had a lot of issue with some powder copper, and you had to do quite a lot of them, and just doing this sorts it out, gives it a good clean. And
yeah, just leave them to soak and it frees them up. So not 100% sure, but I think all of these are stuck open, or at least most of them are stuck open. So
yeah, yep,
yeah.
Roger. So yeah, just a quick clean, put them back together, and good as new. Rightio, we're out here in the wheat. So this is our first sown wheat. So if there's going to be powdery mildew, it's going to be in the early established stuff. If you look across the paddock where it looks like a lighter colour, that's all the heads are out. And then where we're standing here, the heads haven't emerged yet. So we'll walk all the way out here and have a look. Now if we do have to get going and spraying, it's actually good that the heads are out, because it means to give it a head wash, so it protects it for a little bit longer, which means that essentially you wouldn't have to do 2 sprays if it was a bad year for powdery. So yeah, it has been a bad year for the guys close to the coast. They're already on their second, some are on their third sprays, but yeah, we're a bit drier up here, so we don't have that pressure. And our plant numbers aren't exactly the best compared to theirs. But anyway, so far so good. like I mentioned in a previous video, when you get powdery, it starts right down the bottom. Looks like a pustule, a white pustule, and then it slowly just comes up and up and up, and then it'll eventually get in the head. When it gets in the head, it's a lot harder to control. You gotta use a lot more chemical, but yeah, none there.
I haven't spotted anything yet.
But it's not going to be a record-breaking crop, but it is, it's a nice looking crop. The plant numbers aren't ideal. It'd be nice to have more plant numbers, but yeah, looking across, it's looking nice, and the heads are all looking fairly even in size. So while we're down here, we're alongside the canola, figured we'd go for a walk out here and just see what it's all looking like. Now it's gone back to a fairly even crop now. If you guys remember back to when I was spreading this with the rear out the shed there, it wasn't looking all that good. But yeah, no, it's come back. We've got some nice length of pods. We'll get out here off the headland and show you, but it won't be a record-breaking year. We'll be average, but yeah, we've got a lot of pods, and there's a good sized pod depth in it, and yeah, the pods are looking nice and big and long. So there's some hope for a surprising yield. Now the thing we've got to watch out for now is budworm. Obviously once this gets a little bit more established, but budworm is what we've had to spray that for quite a while. Essentially it's just a worm, digs into the bud there, hollows it all out, off it goes, and just keeps on going throughout the whole plant. So you got to get onto them pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean it's looking good.
Needs rain.
It does need rain. It does. I was so confident that we weren't going to have any powdery mildew that I didn't bring the camera out. So I had to get Henry to stand here once we found it. But down here, see if I can get it for you. This just here is powdery mildew. And then on the stem here, looks like there's some over there underneath Henry's finger. So it's here, we've got it, which is very unfortunate. We now know what you're doing come Friday, because it's Monday today, Monday the 28th of August, and tomorrow we're both heading up to go to Darren, so we're not here for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So get back Friday, well obviously back Thursday, and then Friday Henry's going to be starting up spraying.
Right into it.
So yeah, there you go, powdery mildew, just there. So we also figured, as though we're here, we'll come over into the barley and have a look, see what it looks like. It's again, it's looking nice after what it was. Lots of heads here. We'll have to do a head count, for yield estimations at some stage. But we figured we'd have a look at our barley and make sure it's all good. It's looking all right. The thing we want to watch for is spot type coming through again. So if you see our flag leaf just here has got some. Can you see that?
Got some there as well.
Yeah, I've got it on my flag here.
I've only got a little bit in the flag, but yeah.
So again, for those who don't know what spot type is, where'd it go? If you can see it, I'm not sure if you can. At the top of my finger there's a little black dot. Now that's spot type, and it doesn't look so bad when you look at the plant like that, but what spot type does is essentially this whole string, think of it as strings going down the leaf. So this is where it is. So that string from there to the tip will no longer photosynthesize. So if you've got quite a lot of them on your leaf, you're losing quite a lot of your area for photosynthesis. Yeah, so here, this flag leaf here's got one right at the base. So that whole string the whole way down will not be photosynthesizing, which is bad news for your plant. So we will get on the phone to the agronomist and make a plan. Because we obviously, well, we might need to hit this as well. We'll just see what he reckons about this. But we'll definitely have to hit the powdery. Right, we've got the truck in to find that air leak, which is going to be somewhere up here. Oh no, that leaked for ages when I was doing the... Oh, you can still
There's
hear...
still something leaking.
Right, well, we're going to have to tip our engine forward. Well, not the engine.
Hopefully not the whole engine.
Not the engine. Just the bonnet. We'll tip the bonnet forward and then we'll start her up again and have a look. Is that your side or my side? Sounds like yours.
Well, I reckon it's over here somewhere. Found it.
You found it?
Well, that should hopefully be...
Oh, it's just cut it and put it in.
Do we have any brass?
Oh, is that brass? Is
I
it?
reckon it's one of those brass, what do you call it? You know the brass, what do you call it? The thingy-bobs?
Yeah, right next to the flux capacitor.
Yeah. I guess we'll take it off and see, but Jesus. The little brass thing that slips over the hose that clamps on.
Yeah, we fixed it.
Yeah.
Right, well that should be a fairly easy fix. I say fairly easy, but yeah, you never know with Tom's Brook. But yeah, that little bit there is draining that air within like 10 minutes. Now, obviously, the truck isn't something like a fire truck that you need to make sure it's ready to roll, but it's just handy having your air to keep pressure, because the other tank, so there's two tanks, the other tank is always full, and you're always waiting for the first tank or the front tank. So we should do this more often, Henry. Yeah, there's some nasty looking stuff on the ground now. And this is your daily reminder to go and flush your air tanks. Get all the water out of them. Brought to you by Tom's Brook. So you got a brass whatchamacallit?
Yep, brass thingamy-bob.
Brass thingamy-bob. That thing right there.
Right there. Hopefully we've got one. I'm not sure.
We're fresh out of brass whatchamacallits. So we're trying to see if we can just get it off the old hose and reuse it.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
What if we cut the hose and then do it out on the workbench? You have to cut the hose anyway because there's a slit, yeah?
Yeah. Just trying to get it on the new, on the good bit. That's it, cool.
Yeah, yep. Henry's on the important job. He's trying to get that. Did you get it or not?
I got it off. Yeah,
So he's got the brass thingy. What's it? Off. Now the mission is probably getting it back on
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
because it's already been crimped.
Give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. If not, just get Dad to pick one up in town.
Yeah.
But yeah, Henry's on the important job, and then I'm on the clean-up duty. The truck gets a bit neglected because it just gets parked out down there. So I've got all the rubbish that was in here. It was only like gloves and stuff, but you can see how everything's just very dusty. So I'm going to give her a vacuum, get the air compressor, give it a blast, remove all the cobwebs, give it a bit of a spritz, get it all looking nice and clean again. And yeah, the issue is the aircon doesn't work in here, so we run it with the windows down, so that's how it gets so dusty. But anyway,
So good news. Managed to recycle the little brass doohickey.
the old fitting.
So yeah, now I just have to find where I put my tool and
screw it back in.
Screw it back in.
Start the truck up, find out.
Yep.
So what had happened is behind the brass fitting on before, it had split in the hose. So Henry's just put the old fitting onto a new bit of hose and in she went.
Now I just got to see if I can get it on the barb.
You'll get there. Alright, we're just doing the test now. Just waiting for our air to build all the way up. Nearly there, and then we'll see if Henry's fix has worked. How are we looking?
Well, it's not leaking from here anymore.
Yeah, well, that other thing stopped not too long after
Yeah.
we...
I think it's, you know, the engaging of that, so it'll be...
bee. There's a bee flying around me. Oh well. We'll wait to see, we'll leave that for a little bit just to make sure that the air holds, but I think Henry's fix has done it. So yeah, anyway, I reckon we'll probably leave the video there. This video comes out while we're in Darren, so if you had seen us at Darren, hopefully you came and said hello. And yeah, go check out the Glass Cage podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you in the next one.